sorry, that took me a minute. I wanted to diffuse some essential oils to help me. And I know you can see up here, just we'll call it tension. Yeah, I put this here and that there during a period of time when I was keeping the window open. Plus, that's all there was. So there's a gap right there. We can all acknowledge it. It doesn't matter. It's there, okay? It's there. All right. So it's a little chilly this morning and I wish I had socks on. I'll just put the pillow over my feet. All right, so, whew, I just had, I don't know that sitting this way is the best for my back. Okay. Having back issues. So, I don't know that this is best for my back either. Oh, whatever. Okay, we gotta do something. Because I'm not gonna tweak my back out even more than it has been. Alright, that's fine because now my feet are under me. Alright, so I've been, as you know, I've been doing a lot of work on myself. And I'm trying to figure out how to bring this all together. Did I bring my water down here? I did. But it's over there. Ouch. So this makes for good lives, huh? All right. So let's just get myself situated again. My hair is I put some essential oil in my hair because I want it to look nice, but it doesn't look nice on this. It looks greasy. But I do care. I do care, guys. Don't get me wrong. I do care, but I'm not going to fucking wash my hair right now. These things come up spur of the moment, and it's like, anyway. And I'm just being real with you guys, so let's just be real. So I've been working on some stuff all together, and I guess I'll start with the recognizing of the male pattern. The male pattern sadness. I don't know what to call it. It fucking sucks though, guys. Like, I'm really grateful that I recognized it. Well, that I had some help recognizing it, but that I see it now. And it took me days, and there's still part of me that's like, oh. But, I made a promise to myself and to Abraham when we broke up that I wouldn't ever let a man treat me poorly again. Because now I knew what it was like to have someone treat me the way I should be treated. So that got tested recently. I'm not in the market for any sort of romantic relationship right now. I'm like actively not interested. I'm actively not looking, right? Like anything comes across, I'm like, no. So, I met this guy on a virtual networking event, and handsome guy, whatever. And I always follow up with these people, make an appointment to chat, get to know each other. And I had to do that again today. That's something I need to do today. Yeah, I did do that today. So. Sorry, not down that path. We'll keep with the path that we're on, please. So, I made plans, and this guy and I had a conversation, and it lasted, it was nice. It was a good conversation, about just esoteric stuff, just like the universe being a cool place, how things work being cool. you know, and then he's like, oh, you know, I gave him my number, which was probably a stupid thing to do. Not stupid, but like you know, whatever. I was giving people my number. They could have it. And you know, he like basically texted me later on, was like, hey, you want to have a chat? Like, let's talk. I was like, all right. Well, at first I was like, no, you know, I have too much to do. But then I was like, well, maybe he wants a book. Maybe he knows someone who wants a book. All right. So, all right, I'll say yes. So I did say yes. And we had a conversation. We had a long conversation. But it started out, I'm just going to recap because I've spoke, this was a whole long video a couple of days ago. But he, you know, we got on to the video chat. And he's like, are you seeing anybody? And I was like, no, but basically I don't want to, right? No, but that's not where I'm not planning on seeing anybody anytime soon. I've got too much else going on. You know, I'm starting a company and I'm working on myself personally. Like, okay. He's like, oh, I'm not trying to start like some sort of romantic relationship. No, I mean, I'm in New Jersey. I'm like, yeah, okay, good. You're far away. And he's like, so how long has it been since your last relationship? And it went on like that for a while. And I answered. And the thing is, like, I in those situations, I just don't know what to do. So I just go along with it. You know what I mean? And I didn't know how to, not judge it, but how to judge it, right? I didn't know how to think about it. And it was flattering that he was being persistent. And it's been a while since I've been wanted. You know, it's been a while since someone has shown that kind of attraction for me. And he was very, very intense and very persistent. But I was like, oh, towards the end, you know, he was like, oh, you know, I'll come up to Boston sometime. I've got, you know, family I gotta come visit. And I was like, oh yeah, sure. Well, when you do, we'll have to get together. And he was like, yeah, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I was like, yeah, because, you know, at the very least we can be friends. You know, I was like, friends. We have a good synergy here. It's, you know, we have a nice rapport. We can be friends. And he's like, my goal is to make out with you. Like, okay. And I thought it was funny. I got off the phone and I texted Robin. And I was like, oh, this funny story. And she's like, yeah, okay, no, promise me you won't ever talk to that guy again. I'm like, what? No, it was funny. You know, he got it up front, out of the way. You know, so it was like, it's like, I appreciate directness. I rather than having both of us like, oh, what's the other person interested in? You know, got it there and out of the way. And she's like, yeah, that's great, but he's not respecting your boundaries. He's, you know, basically he's being very clear about his intentions. This is a toxic, like, this guy's like the epitome of toxic masculinity. And like, don't ever talk to him. And she's like, dude, this is a familiar pattern. She's like, the universe is testing you. And I was like, and I started thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. Like, it is. Because, you know, there's that feeling flattered, but also feeling like I kind of have to go along with it. Like, I just feeling like I had to go along with it. Like, and that's been a problem my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, my interaction with men. And that's not every single time I, you know, had a relationship or whatever, but plenty of times. Like, it's derailed my life and caused me to respect myself less and less and less every time it happened, right? It got me into trouble. Allowing that, oh God, there's so many times in my life that I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, okay, this guy, right? Like, it's just so obvious. Like, what the hell? Like, we can be friends. My goal is to make out with you. Ha 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 ha. He's not being respectful. He's being disrespectful, you know? No. I'm like a fucking fish in a barrel. That's You know, like, it's like, I see him licking his chops. You know what I mean? Like, I'm one of the weaker ones is straight away from the pack. You know what I mean? And it's just gonna fucking take me down. Like, no. And I allowed that to happen so many times. I didn't know what else to do. You know what? Like, I have to be compassionate to myself. I have to be compassionate to myself. I did not know what else to do. That's why what happened happened. You know, like, if I had known what to do, I would have done it differently. You know what I mean? Like, if I had known, it would have gone differently if I had. And the thing is, I look back and it's just like, the things I allowed men to do to me. Like, no, it's just like I had no self-respect. None. And I think about the times that I would be talking to one of my friends about some guy that was treating me poorly. And like thinking about listening to that as a different person, and like how if it would have been my friend, I would have been like, what the fuck are you doing? And some of my friends were, you know what I mean? They're like, and I'd always make excuses for it. I was so desperate to feel loved, but it wasn't love, you know? Desperate to feel wanted, but it wasn't good. And I didn't think there was anything else out there for me. I'm sure there were nice guys, but I never really liked them. I mean, I liked them, you know what I mean? I liked them. I just I never felt like romantic love for anyone who treated me nicely. You know, like, ever. And it wasn't romantic love that I was feeling for the guys that didn't treat me well, but it was desperation and fear, like, just fear. And what a turn off. To the guys that I did like, you know what I mean? Like, because it would inevitably turn into that. Oh, God. So this is something I've been thinking about a lot lately, about how little respect I've had for myself for a long time. And, you know, not just the lack of self-respect that I showed by letting these guys treat me the way that I've been treated, but also respecting myself less for letting them treat me that way, seeing myself as less because of the way they treated me, thinking that I didn't deserve more, that I couldn't have more. That's so sad. It's gross. It's gross. But at the same time, like, I have to have compassion for myself. I didn't know any better, and the state of mind that I was in, I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted to be taken care of. I just wanted, you know, I mean, and it was clear that I wasn't getting love from these people, so I got desperate, you know what I mean, and would do anything. And, or just even when it was someone that I didn't really, I guess I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know how to handle it. Like, I distinctly remember several times I didn't want to do anything, but I let it happen because I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know what to do in those situations. I don't know why it never occurred to me to say no. But like, or that I could. I didn't think I could. I thought it had to happen. Like, I really didn't think I could say no. It's like, oh, I don't really want this to happen. But like, he's making it happen, and I don't know how to stop it. Like, I don't. And part of me right now is like, I'm 44. I couldn't have come to this conclusion earlier. This could have helped in my 20s, my 30s. It could have helped earlier, but you know what? It happened when it's happening for a reason. And maybe it's to show you guys. Who knows? But so I've been thinking about that and how could I? So many times, guys, like so many times. God, gross. So many fucking times. Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Why couldn't I just stand up? Why couldn't I just be like, no? Why wasn't that an option? Why couldn't, like, why? No self-respect. No self-respect. Self-hatred. A lot of self-hatred. Not thinking I deserved any better. Thinking that I had to go along with these things. Just because the guy was being insistent. God. Oh my God. Okay. So, I don't have tissues. So, I'm diffusing the blend Forgive, and I really like this blend. You never really know what forgiveness smells like until you get this, and you're like, oh, that's what forgiveness smells like? Oh, my back, guys. My back. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, all right. If I turn like this. All right. So, I've been drinking enough water. I've also simultaneously been doing these exercises, these meditations and exercises at the end of the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And one of the things that you do is you identify the emotions and the state of mind and the thoughts, the personality pattern that you've memorized and is in your body and is coded at your RNA at this point. Identifying those programs and releasing them, letting go of them. And you do it one at a time. Basically, you choose one and you go after it. And it's been fear for me. But last night, I was thinking, it really should be my anger at myself. It should be my self-hatred. That's that I'm letting go, because that's what's fucked me over. Again and again. The self-sabotage, it's fear, sure, but it's self-hatred. It's self-hatred. It's anger at myself. There's this feeling inside of me that I have sometimes where when I'm doing something that is not good for me and I know it, and it takes pleasure in hurting me. It takes pleasure. It's a sick kind of pleasure. It's sick. I can feel how sick it is, but it's just I take pleasure in hurting myself. I took pleasure, and it's a gross feeling. It's disgusting, and it's
you know, there's so much, I have so much anger towards myself. And I've known that for a long time. You know what I mean? That's not news. But focusing on letting it go is news. You know? So I decided instead of focusing on the fear, I was going to focus on the anger towards myself and my self-loathing. I need something to wipe my nose. Okay, I'm back. Like an old person. All right, this is not good for my nose. All right. I'm gonna stretch that out a little, guys. Sorry. So, I don't know that this is the place I should sit. Unless I sit back here, which is a good idea, but not like the best angle. Not that that's ever really mattered, right? Okay, so I just don't want to sit in the light because it shows everything up, and I don't know what you're looking at because I can't see it because it's so far away. But ooh, all right. I'm gonna bring you closer. I don't like this angle, and I don't like this lighting. But all right, yeah, okay. Okay, let's try this again. That didn't work. That did not work. Okay. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna have to move back up here. And hopefully not hurt my back any more than it already is hurt. Okay, so I've been focusing, I decided this morning to focus on that emotion, that state of mind where I'm angry at myself and I'm punishing myself. And like I started realizing like that's why I sabotage, because I hate myself. I'm so angry at myself that I have no respect for myself. I have had no respect for myself. I have been so angry at myself. I have hated myself so much for so long. And for no good reason. There's no reason to hate myself. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. My intentions are, I mean, I don't like using absolutes, so I'm not going to say always good, but I'm sure they're not. I know they're not, but for the most part, my intentions are good, you know? And I think about where it came from. And I mean, I know it's clear. It's clear. You know, childhood being what it was and what was going on in my house, I didn't realize. But my mother was always angry. And my father was my father. He, you know, he's a narcissist. I love him. Very much. And his intentions are always good when he's not thinking about himself. He's a good man, but he is a narcissist. Like, I mean, in the clinical sense. And growing up with someone like that, you get this whacked out view of yourself. And that's where it came from in the end. And it's so sad because it didn't need to be that way, you know? And I'm not angry, but it's just like, why would you treat your little girl that way? Why would you treat your daughter that way? You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? So sorry. It's so I realized this morning as I was thinking about this state of mind, this feeling I have towards myself and what it's done to my life. It's ruined my life. And I don't like to say ruined because, you know, saying that my life is ruined is kind of bleak and does not give me a lot of room to go in different places. But it's caused a lot of problems. And it's the reason I ended up where I am. It's the reason that I didn't follow I didn't take advantage of all those opportunities that I made for myself when I was young and beautiful. I could have been yeah. But you know what? That's the past, and it's not like I can go back and change it. All I can do is take what I like, be grateful that I'm figuring this out now, and my life will be better for it. So, you know, during these meditations, you call to mind this emotion and think about the stuff that you don't want to be anymore, which is kind of counterintuitive considering like I've been spending the past couple of years learning that the universe doesn't hear no or don't, and it just, when you focus on something, it gives you more of that. But it's more focusing on letting it go and being aware of it so that when it comes up, I can make a different choice. So in this meditation, it's like, you know, give this up to the higher power. You know, there is I mean, you have to believe that there is this, I mean, it's like the force, right? It really is. You know, there's something that has created the universe, and it's everywhere. It is everything. It's crazy. I knew this when I was like 20, 22 maybe. You know, like I came up with this whole thing, and if I had kept with it, I that's one of the things I'm so angry at myself about, like squandering all that potential. Like I had so much potential and I fucked it all up. I squandered all of it. Maybe next time around, right? Next time around, I don't know if I'll be so blessed as I have been this lifetime. Anyway. So I was asking the higher power, the universe, the divine, to take this away from me. And I started crying. You know what I mean? Like, I want to release this stuff. I want to. And the same thing, you know, the whole Michael Singer thing too. Like, it's stored with pain, it's going to come up with pain. So I was crying, and I was able to kind of observe the fact that I was crying. And I know my hair looks greasy. It's because I put oil in it. I'm just going to put that out there again. I made a hair oil and I put it in there last night, and then I come on anyway. Sorry, for some reason Bangers and Mash just dropped into my head, and I'm like, I want to be in England. So there's all this self-hatred, and I want to release it. Oh my God. I don't want to fuck my back up anymore. So I want to release it, and I want the universe to take it away from me, because I realized, like, I don't know how to let this go. I don't know how to let it go. If I could have, I would have, but like, this is what I want you to take. I don't want this anymore. I don't want it. I want you to take it away from me, because I don't know how to let it go. So I surrender it to you, but you got to help me, like, let go of it. You got to help my emotional hands, my energetic hands, let go of this, because I am having a hard, I can't find where they are. They've been clenched so tight for so long, I don't feel them. They're just there. It's like the tension in my back. When I started paying attention to it and loosening it up, I started realizing, I'm like, oh my God, this has been here, and my back is uncomfortable. Like my back hurts because of this tension, and I have gotten so used to it that it's just how it is. But my back is tired from so tired from being so tense for so long, because it's clenching, right? Like, so I've been working on that, which is going to help me release a lot of other stuff. Anyway, so I was working on, I'm sorry, obviously I'm getting diverted. My brain's like, no, let's not pay attention to that. We want to go here, we want to go there. So yeah, so I was crying and asking the universe to take away that self-hatred and the anger I have in myself. And like, I realized how much I wanted to let it go and how I didn't know how to do that. So I really wanted to let it go. I really want to let it go. And I realized that all those voices, you know, the meditation talks about, I bought the meditation rather than just doing it myself, because I would always forget in my mind. I just would never finish. So, so I bought this meditation. And as I was, you know, it goes through these exercises, and as I was listening to it, it was talking about surrendering these things to, you know, whatever higher power, and knowing that that's what's happening, and then taking you through, like, what are those familiar thoughts and feelings that you have when these things come up, when you know that state of mind, those emotions that you don't want anymore. What are the thoughts? What are the actions that you take? So that, you know, and this is getting you familiar with these things so that when they happen in real life, I can identify them and, you know, make a different choice, rewire my brain, break the habit of being myself, right? Which is a good idea. And I realized that all these not voices, but thoughts that I have that end with me self-sabotaging are all the voice of my self-hatred. Like, anytime I do what those thoughts think, I'm taking the advice of someone who hates me. And that's not useful. That's not healthy. Why would you do what the person that hates you the most in the world, who wants you to fail, why would you take their advice? You know what I mean? It's funny because people say, oh, that voice, whatever, they think they're taking care of you. Like, whatever, if it is or not, I don't know that it is, to be honest with you. I think it's an externalized voice coming in, and their thoughts, Melton. I think it's these externalized voices, you know, that I heard growing up, and these emotions that were swirling around me, that I internalized and made them feel like home, like that's how it should be. And I realized that, like, that's not what I want anymore. That's not, like, I did want it too, though. I mean, like, I did take that fucking perverse pleasure in hurting myself, you know, and doing things and causing behaviors that not only did not serve me, but, like, that would purposely thwart what I wanted, what would be good for me, you know, like the whole eating thing, right? Like, I get, oh, I'm not going to eat, it's fine, I'm just going to go to the store and look at the food. I need to get food anyway. So I'll go to the store. Okay, and I'll just look at the ice cream and see what they have. I mean, I'm not gonna buy anything, but I'll go look at it. Like, what? If you're not gonna buy anything, you don't need to look at it. But no, that it would trick me. You know what I mean? Like, just trick me to go and whatever. No, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and there's these thoughts that are like, the we'll do it tomorrow thought, or just this one time I'll eat this and it's not going to happen again. You know what I mean? Just this one time I'll buy this junk food and it's not going to happen again. This is the last time, but so it's no big deal because from now on it's not the way it is, but just this one last time. Like, that's not a healthy voice. That's not the voice of someone who's trying to help me. That's not the voice of someone who wants what's good for me. And that's the voice I've been, every time something big comes up in my life, every time I'm going to do something for my good, that's who pops up and convinces me to do otherwise. Like, okay. Oh, well, that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just this last time, like, there's so much rationalization that goes into, like, justification that goes into behaviors and actions that are expressly against my best interest. Like, expressly. Like, they don't sound angry. It's not an angry feeling I have when I'm looking at the ice cream. It's just like, you deserve it. Like, another one that's been a recent one is like, you're working so, I mean, it's not an abnormal one, but like, you're working so hard, you're making so many changes. There's only so much willpower that we have, and that's a scientific fact. So if I eat this ice cream or these nachos, that's actually a good thing, because that means more of my willpower and focus goes to the other stuff, right? Because right now, this is my focus and my willpower is going towards keeping me from eating these things or from doing whatever. That's like dividing it. That's taking more of that away that I should be spending on my work, on this, on that. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. And it's just, as I was meditating, I don't know that you can call it meditation, to be honest with you, but it was as close as I was getting this morning. I just realized that that's what's happening when those thoughts come to my head. It's the voice of someone who wants me to fail, who thinks I deserve to fail, who wants to sabotage me. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that anymore. I don't want that to be a part of me. It's not a part of me. It's just something I've been holding on to for so long. And, like what I was talking about earlier, just this lack of self-respect that I've had for so long. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for me to hate myself. None. I'm a nice person. I'm a good person. I do my best every day. And so now when I hear, and this meditation kind of takes you through this, it's really interesting, but now when I hear those voices, when I feel those thoughts and I, feel those feelings and, have those thoughts and am tempted, these urges, these desires, these behaviors that are tempting me, there's a pull, right? There's like a physical pull, to just get lost in those habit energies, right? And now I'm going to be aware of it, And when it comes up, rather than giving into it and being like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to recognize it for what it is. And like anything inside of me that says, like, yeah, but you like I hate you. You know what I mean? Anything inside of me that says that, that's like, yeah, but but that's what's going to happen anyway. That's what you deserve. You know what I mean? Like, you're not capable of doing anything different. All those thoughts, those feelings, I'm going to recognize them for what they are. And even if they're tempting, and it feels like who I am, like, don't get lost in those thoughts, right? Our thoughts and our feelings are not us. And those are the ones that really suck me in. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that really convince me of things. I forget. In those moments, I forget all the stuff that I actually want. And if I do think of it, I'm like, yeah, but I don't want that as much as I want this. Ice cream, these nachos, this behavior, whatever it is. I can't do this. Like, that's not true. So when I hear these things, when I feel them, when I see them, when the urge strikes or these rationalizations start, I'm going to know for certain that that is not the voice of reason. It's not the voice of reason. It's not the voice of something that's trying to help me. It says it is, but it's not. It's not. Sorry, my lips are all chapped. I'm like, dead skin. And I'm going to be grateful that I hear them and that I see them, that I'm aware of them, and be grateful and happy and proud of myself to say, fuck you. Like, I'm taking care of myself. No, I love myself. No, I love myself. That's not what I'm going to do anymore. I deserve better. I deserve better. And so do you. Out there, people who may feel similarly. You know, this is a special thing to go through, and it's painful, and it takes work to get to these points, you know, but it's worth it. It's worth the work, because I don't want to be that way anymore. And I'm going to have a better life, so much more happiness. I'm going to be so much happier not listening to those things, recognizing them for what they are, and taking pride and pleasure in helping myself rather than in hurting myself. It's going to be so good. It's good. It's good. It feels so good. Oh, it's good. It's really good. I don't. And it's compassion. I have to have compassion for all the mistakes that I've made in the past, listening to those things, you know, and love for myself, compassion and love for myself. Looking back on those things, I don't want to see them as disgusting. I don't want to see them as foolish and something to despise the person who did them, aka me, about. You know, I'm going to have compassion for myself. I'm going to love myself. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all this turmoil. I'm grateful for the shit that has hit the fan in my life recently. This clusterfuck of things coming together. So it could heighten, right? That's why it's here. I gotta something. Piece of paper towel that I do have to wipe my nose, or you're gonna see snot. And that's the one thing, guys. It's the one thing I won't let you see is snot coming out of my nose. So I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for all of it. I can feel, like, it's a physical feeling, like every once in a while something opens and something's released. And I'm going to continue to allow that to happen, because it's also easy to push it back down, right? We don't want to push it back down. We want to let it not express, but we want to let it come up and be what it is and feel it and allow it to come and go, because that's what emotions are supposed to do. They're not supposed to stick with you. They're supposed to, they're a breeze. They're a storm. They come, they do what they do, you feel them, and then they go. That's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way it is going to be. And I'm working on letting go of all these blockages, these shit that I've held on to for so long. And it feels good. It's work. It feels so good though, guys. And life is just, you can deal with it better. Like, I just, from the beginning of this journey to now, has been amazing. Like, the growth and the ability to handle my life. I mean, I'm not saying it's like 100% or it's been 100%. I'm just saying from where I was to where I have gotten, it's night and day. And it's just gonna get brighter. And I'm so grateful for it. And I'm gonna go cry about it, but I'm so grateful for it. And I'm gonna remind you guys, no matter what is going on, if your life is a clusterfuck, be grateful for it, because that means something better is coming. Work at it. You know, like, recognize what's actually happening. And just remember that you can always choose to have a grateful day.